Hi, it's Sunday again. Welcome to UK GK TV. I'm Bill Voice, and this is my good friend
Dave Nicholson. How you doing, guys? Hope you're all fitting well. We've got quite a lot to get through today. All of a sudden, it's become very, very busy. I nipped down to the venue yesterday, and we've done a short segue for this video, short section, not segue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that on, and it basically shows you around the venue and how close it is to one of the neighbouring thingies. So I'll put that on at the end. We've also got the guys from the States again on this.
Excellent, that's so really good.
That went down really well.
Nice to see them back last week.
It was. Yeah, it was good to have them back. It was good. Thank you for the positive comments, guys. We do appreciate it. We're getting lots of new subscribers. We do this for a bit of fun. We're going to do a little bit different today. We're going to do some products, and we're going to do some new releases, and we're going to show you some in its glory. Show's fast approaching really quick, guys. So really quick. We have got a show exclusive from another producer today that Bill's going to review, and it's watch this. It's a lovely piece.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
This one's available through Darren Kent, the guy that works for me. It's a cracking.
And this is a show exclusive, isn't it?
Show exclusive. If you speak
and
to
you're going to want one.
Yeah, it's lovely. Beautiful.
I came in and thought,
beautiful piece.
Really
absolutely stunning.
Piece. Really
we'll show you that later. We've had a lot of comments, guys, about how to get the stuff that we show. Okay, we both of us work different jobs, so we struggle to keep up with the comments. It's getting that good. You know, they're getting that busy with a lot of comments on there. So thank you for the comments. If you want anything off me, if you want anything off Bill, leave a message on the YouTube video. Or nip over to.
Endeavour to answer, won't we?
We'll try our best, won't we?
Yeah. The most popular comment is, "How do I get your stuff?"
Right.
And that is through
myself. So basically, the easiest way. We were going to do a website, but the trouble is because the product range changes and adapts
moves so quick, doesn't it?
Can't. I'm going to be forever doing it. So nip over to the Facebook group. Go to Killer Kits, not the group, sorry, the retail page, or Creature Features if you want any of my stuff. We'll try and get Darren's stuff up later, but that's the quickest way. Or contact us via email, which is up on the. It's up on the YouTube channel now, and we'll basically put a bit in the comments below. So we'll put my email, and you'll be able to get hold of us. But the easiest way is to go over to Facebook. I know you guys don't probably do it. Some guys do, some guys don't. But if you do, it's the quickest and easiest way. Email or Facebook.
So it's Creature Features on Facebook.
Creature Features Studios on Facebook. Or
and
Killer Kits.
They instant message you.
Yeah.
They message you, don't they?
Or Killer Kits. Now, Killer Kits has got 2 pages. One of them, just to confuse you even more, one of them is a discussion group, which you don't want to go on the group. You want to go on the retail page, which is the black and white logo. And then when you go onto it, it'll have a red background. If there's a picture of Pennywise on it, don't request to join that, guys. You know, they're just people. Well, you can, but they're just people talking about it. If you want to just buy the products, go on to the retail group on Facebook.
Another way, of course, is to meet you at one of the shows.
Yeah.
Which is what's going to happen soon.
Very soon.
And
very soon indeed.
If you want to come and you want to meet people, and there's the people that we talk about on a weekly basis, they'll be there at the show as well. There'll be various different vendors at the show.
Yeah.
So we're going to start off with just a little bit of what's available, and then we're going to move over to paint, aren't we?
Yeah, we're going to do some paint. We're going to talk a little bit about painting, just a little bit.
Well, first of all, I want to get not out of the way because they're brilliant, but and I'll try and keep a good distance away from the microphone so people can understand what I'm saying. So here we've got a whole series of Ghostbusters kits which have been painted up by Rachel.
Yep. I'd say they're about quarter scale, would you say, if you had the bodies on?
Jobs. Look at that. Look at the detail on that.
That's Dan Aykroyd, isn't it?
Yep, it's the Dan Aykroyd character.
Little cigarette in his mouth.
It's Andy Copeland.
Andy Copeland,
as usual. Like I said, the likeness is faultless, but also the detail on the machinery and the backpack and stuff like that. You get all these bits, don't you? You get the plastic tubing and everything included.
You get the backpack, you get different weapons.
Yeah.
I think we've gone for the smaller weapons because these are going out to a customer.
And here we go.
That's the first one in the series of 4. Now these are available now. Andy did these a while ago. Look how good that is. How superb that is.
Is that the Handle Rhymer's character, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's lovely. It's a lovely. Well, I mean, look how the detail
logo.
on the badge on
the raised detail of the logo makes it quite easy to paint, so it actually feels like an embroidered patch, doesn't it?
It's
the way
good.
it looks.
He's done a good job. He makes it easy.
Fantastic job.
This is one of Andy's earlier ones, can believe it or not.
Yeah.
But the customers asked for these. So what we're doing, guys, is as soon as Rachel paints some to make it easier visually for yourselves, we're going to stick them up. So she's done a painting of something for a customer. We'll try and review it or try and show it off. Here's the other two guys. Look at them.
There we go. Absolutely. That's great stuff. Look at that. Nice positions as well. I know they're torsos, but there's a lot of movement in those torsos. You know, the position of the arms are very, very good. Very, very naturalistic, very lifelike. And of course,
this is a good, haven't we? And you've got these nice bases as well.
You've got the Ghostbusters logo on the base there.
Yeah, I mean they're probably 10 inches tall, maybe 10.
Yeah, I'd say about 8, 9.
Yeah, and you've got you have a pin that goes up the middle, and you can position them how you want. So all them 4 are available as a set of 4. Obviously, if you buy the 4, I'll work your deal out, or individually.
Yeah, look at that.
You can buy them individually. You've got to have them all, really. Haven't you?
I was going to say, you get them all, wouldn't you?
You've got to have them all, really. You've got to have them all.
If you're a Ghostbusters fan, these are a must, aren't they, really?
Yeah, along with the big Slimer.
The big Slimer.
You like that one, don't you?
I do. I like that one because it lends itself to a big kit.
It's massive, isn't it?
It's massive. Yeah. So paint.
A lot of people have asked us. We've recently had a few converts that have come over to the paint line that we do. Not a lot of you would know about this. We've worked in collaboration with Jason Andrews to provide a hobby paint. Now
You'll be able to meet Jason at the show.
Jason will be at the show
with his full range of paints.
Yep. Really nice guy. If you any technical problems or any technical questions, ask Jason. So basically, we do a full line of paints for the modelers. Okay, they're quite competitively priced. We do the aerosols, and we do different sort of types. We do the basic colours. I mean, you're an artist. You'll probably know better than me. Metallics, specialist paints. We do flesh paints. We do pearlescent paints. We do the basic range, really. We do like an Iron Man set where there's a gold and a candy apple red.
Yeah, you do sets for particular models, don't you?
We tend to, and we do a nice set of flesh colours. Eric, I hope they're working well for you. He's recently loves them, so we thought we'd just do a little bit because now. Years ago, I used to be a painter. I haven't done it since I've seen Rachel's paint jobs. I've kind of
you kind of get out of it when you see the.
I kind of not decided to do it. So the basics, Bill, you do painting. The basics is the priming, isn't it?
The basics, whether you're painting on a canvas or a piece of board or a model kit, is priming it, sealing it, and priming it.
Yeah.
And and undercoating it to an extent, because I suppose there's a slight difference between a primer and an undercoat. Back in the day, of course. When I first started modelling, somebody asked me in the comments, have I ever done any modelling before I got into garage kits? And the answer is yeah. I was big into my military, particularly early on when I was a little kid. I used to do Revel and Airfix and doing a lot of military. And my first forays into anything bigger were bases and stuff for military and broken buildings and stuff. And what I realised was about 10, 15 years ago that people didn't use Humbrol enamels anymore. So Airfix and Humbrol used to have their own range of paints.
Were they oil-based?
They were oil-based, and they were tiny little
like
tins,
little pots,
but they were enamel.
They stunk,
they stank, and once they were on, they're impossible to get off.
You weren't getting them.
So then when I see myself as saying started painting kits seriously. I'm no painter compared to Rachel, but I then did what a lot of people did at the time because the colours weren't available. I started to use oil paints, actual artists' oil colours. But the trouble with them is they take absolutely ages to dry.
So what's just briefly, what's the process with oils? Because I've never done them. Is it a blending technique?
Well, there's lots of ways of doing it. Some people do what's called impasto when they're doing a canvas, and they lard it on literally like butter.
Yeah.
Or with oils, the basic thing is you can kind of use it in it's almost like watercolours that you build up the washes.
So you blend in because it takes so long.
Yeah, so you can blend in using layers, which reflect the light, or you can blend in by actually mixing the colours. So you can get different effects by using what they call a glaze, where you thin the oil paint right down.
Right.
But with oil paint, you've got all sorts of stuff. Like you've got linseed to thin it, which takes ages to dry out because it's like literally is oil.
Yeah.
It's like cooking oil.
Yeah.
Or you can use terps and thinners and stuff, but that sometimes damages the colours in the paint. So that's probably why people use linseed and stuff to thin and.
So are people still using oil?
Yeah, well, people still do. Particularly people, I suppose, who are making like museum models, because the range of colours with oils are only limited by what you can mix.
Okay, I see.
So I think that's the thing. Oil paints are made out of different types of chemicals in the same kind of binder, which means that sometimes they react really weird. Whereas with modern acrylic paints,
Water-based ones,
the pigments are stable. So when you mix two colours, there's no chemical reaction as such, like you sometimes get in oil paints.
Right.
There's an actual colour reaction which you're expecting. So over the years, acrylics and water-based, which I think probably came in the early 80s, most of it.
Yeah.
And they came in, and people thought it was great because number one, they're not poisonous, so kids can eat them. Not that they should.
Easily clean.
Easily clean them off your hands. There's no smell of linseed or terps and stuff or thinners. You know, do you remember Humbrol thinners in that little can? It was pungent, wasn't it?
Was it like rocket fuel?
It was rocket fuel. So in a sense, it's a bit like glues without vapor. They came in the 80s for safety reasons and convenience, and people haven't really looked back. And if you look at the major producers of paint, particularly in the 90s in America with Villaggio and all that, were bringing out sets of colours which were pretty much meant that you didn't have to mix.
Yeah, that's the next question I was going to ask you, because a lot of people that we get to the workshop, if you buy like a t-shirt, they want to buy that t-shirt and they want to get the colour out of a pot. It's all, so, you know, if you've got your basic colours, you've got every colour you want.
Every colour, yeah.
But a lot of people...
There's primary and secondary colours, isn't there?
Yeah. Exactly.
Primary and secondary.
Exactly.
So you've got, yellow, red, blue...
Yeah.
On the colour wheel.
Yeah, and then you can mix all...
You can mix every colour in the world depending. Now, you can with acrylics because they're stable. Now, if you try to do that with oil paints, you'd struggle because sometimes when you put two oil paints together, because the different materials are made out of, they don't actually go with the colour you expect.
Okay.
So if you look at the colours of oil paints, they're called like burnt sienna, burnt umber, lead white, and these refer to the chemicals that originally were used to create that colour. Lead white was actually made of lead. I mean, it's not anymore. Thank goodness.
Thankfully.
And burnt sienna is basically kind of a clay. I think it used to be like a crumbled up clay, which was put in a binder.
Right.
But this goes back hundreds of years. You know, people like Da Vinci's, like the famous Mona Lisa was one of the earlier paintings that's done in proper oil paints.
Right. Okay.
So,
people tend to be a bit more lazy with the paints, don't they? Go for the flesh is the big one. Now, going to our line of paints, flesh is the good one. These are the Devil's Palette paint. People tend to like a nice base colour, which we do, guys. We do a base colour, we do a lighter flesh, we do a darker flesh, and we do a really dark flesh, and we do a zombie flesh. So, you know, the kind of,
I love these names, Dave. I love these names. Because I remember going to...
I had to be PC then. I had to make sure I said the right thing.
Right.
Afro-Caribbean flesh.
Afro-Caribbean flesh, yes. So there's dark tones, there's the multiple tones, the human colours, they're all there in different types of flesh.
Yeah, that's what we do.
So, for instance, if you were painting the character from Ghostbusters, for instance... Obviously, when we're talking flesh tones, we're looking different bases, different top coats. It's all flesh tones, but there's people when they talk about flesh tones, they're talking like they're basically talking about a sort of what could I call it? Like a Caucasian flesh tones.
That's it. So,
but there are other flesh tones, and there is a range of paints which does.
We do. We've actually designed. We've actually designed 4 or 5. Basically, the basic flesh is the one that most people do. Now, when we're doing the painting here, this is a tip, guys. Now, before you all start, we know everyone's got different techniques. We totally get that.
Yeah, that's right.
But before we start, what we do is Rachel's a stickler for making sure the actual figure. If you want to just pass me any one of these, if you want to
let's have a look at Vincent.
We'll have a look at Vincent first. So this is. He'll tell you all about this one shortly. So basically, Rachel will before she starts on it, and if we're base coating for her or she's base coating, we have to make sure it's covered, because if you don't cover your model, obviously make sure it's all cleaned, but if you don't cover your model and make sure you've got in all the nooks and crannies, and she starts putting all the magic on. It's a waste of
Because
time.
paint sticks better to paint
Yeah.
than it does to plastic.
Yeah.
So what we've got to start with is a paint which is designed not only to stick to paint but to stick to plastic. So we've got primers and we've got undercoats and we've got sealants that you can spray on. Now, paint sticks, like as I said, paint sticks better to paint. So if you were to paint a colour on top of raw plastic and paint it on top of an undercoated plastic, you get a better, the colour, the coverage is better, and it's more economical if you put it over a base coat, because if you're painting directly over plastic, not only is it kind of weird to do because the paint starts to streak and separate. It starts
to separate, doesn't it?
Yeah, because of the surface tension. Because if you're using acrylic, it's water based, and water, when it goes on plastic, the surface tension makes it bead up.
Yeah.
So if you've got a nice undercoat on there, which is worth investing in, then it makes the most of the colours, but it also makes it more economical because you use less of them.
Yeah. Now, my big thing with this is, which I can't see, I mean, you probably correct me because you're an artist.
Well,
okay.
I say artist to piss why myself.
This is a tip, guys, so everybody's different, but this is a tip. Maybe if this helps one person, then it's worth me saying. When you're doing a human or a normal person, or shall we say for now, I always find that I never prime it in grey. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think flesh reflects the light quite well. So when you're looking at a grey primer, the grey kind of absorbs. So you need a lighter primer for flesh.
Well, what I tend to do is I tend to either paint it in give it a warm colour so that the flesh it warms the flesh up. Now, what we tend to do is we do a brush on, which is a water-based, and that's a flesh primer. So basically that comes in an aerosol like that, and it also comes brush. It comes in smaller quantities than that. But quite a few people have bought these off us. So if you're doing, this is my tip, guys, you don't have to follow it, but if you're doing a normal person or a normal sort of human or some description or something that's warmer, do it in the flesh colour.
Yeah, because basically when you're building up the flesh tones onto a sculpt, you can put your flesh undercoat on, which gives you a base coat. It gives you the right amount of reflectivity for the face.
Then you put the colours
and then you start
to
put the other colours, which there will be many of, over the top of it. Essentially, if you went to, when you're a kid and you're respraying your first car or your motorbike, and you go to Halfords, you pick up a can of paint. It says. Usually on the lid there's a sticker. It says use with grey primer or use with white primer or use with red primer. And that's so in a sense it's just kind of common sense.
So basically in the range, I know we're doing a brief product today. In the ranges we've got a white, we've got grey, we've got black, we've got flesh, we've got a yellow. Can you believe? Because yellow's a pain to paint.
Yeah, it is.
Now all these come in two different versions. They come in small bottles. This is just a large bottle for Rachel because she gets through it quick. Or it comes in these Vattel cans. Now these Vattel cans, you can get these off us, and basically the colours are in them. So you prime it. So if you were doing a Bruce Lee, and in my experience, you'd buy a flesh coloured Vattel can, spray it, and then it can be used as you've got a nice key. One of the only things I would suggest, and again, this is the tips we give to the guys that come to the workshop, always first job, after you've cleaned it, washed it, cleaned it, always do an upside down coat. Paint it upside down, because you paint it that way, you turn it upside down. So do that upside down coat, guys. That'll help you. Do an upside down coat, make sure you get underneath and in all the crevices, and then do the top coat.
Yeah, because it's easy when you're painting it, standing there with the brush doing
Everyone does it. I do.
Everybody,
it.
It's the same when you decorate and you look under your door frame.
I do.
Basically, make sure you've got your nostrils filled and everything as well.
Do that upside down coat. Do that upside down.
Nice job.
So these primers that we do, okay, these are all the sets of primers. We do several ones. We do black, white. We do the flesh, etc. We do all them. These are basically acrylic primers. Now, obviously, with aerosols, it kicks off a bit of smell. So do it. Do it in a ventilated place.
Yeah, because you've got the propellant that's getting the paint out the can, haven't you?
Yeah.
So there's a compression there. I mean, there's some safety stuff as well. Not near a naked flame.
I don't drink it.
Don't drink it or spray it up your own nose or anything like that.
Yeah.
And make sure you've got an apron on when you do it, or at least something else shirt on or something like that.
One tip that I tell guys that nobody ever listens to me: when you're spraying something over the aerosol, and Bill will probably back me up on this, and this has come from my days in the motor trade, put a clean piece of paper down.
Yeah.
No matter how clean you think that worktop is,
It's always dust.
Yeah. So when that propellant hits the dust, it's going to go all over your model.
What happens is the pressure of the air is going to kick any dust up, and the dust might be invisible, and that dust will go on the model, and it will show. And then you'll see it after it dries, and you'll start picking at it.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have to rub it down, and then you have to because any blemish you put on that undercoat is going to show through the paint.
Yeah.
The other thing about these nozzles is, if I'm right in thinking, are they a variable nozzle that you can turn?
No, the maintenance that people don't seem to know that I don't. That Jason told me, when you sprayed it, obviously make sure you've got mask on, etc. Make sure, if you listen to what Bill's just done, rattle that camber.
Yeah, that disturbs the paint, and it moves the paint, and it agitates the propellant.
Yeah.
And you've got to have your paint mixed before you spray it out. You don't just pick it up and spray it.
Listen to this one.
That's because the ball is in the sediment of the paint, so the paint needs agitating.
So the more you keep shaking it, there
it is, you see. But I would recommend a couple of minutes of shaking, gentle shaking. You can actually buy a little mechanism that does that from Screwfix. I think it's called the can agitator.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, I don't know. Pretend you're making a cocktail.
Yeah.
You know, Tom Cruise.
Give it a good shake, guys. Don't get too close to your model. Don't get because it'll run.
You need about 10 inches a foot away. Is that right?
Dust it on. Less is more.
Yeah.
Less is more with these. So don't go because it will run. When you finish, guys, turn upside down and spray it. The reason you do that is that the propellant then clears the nozzle out for the next
and the nozzle doesn't get blocked for your next spray.
So basically, guys, once you've finished, turn it upside down, spray it till it goes clear.
What bears repeating? What bears repeating from what Dave just said is less is more. It's better to do 3, 4, 5 very thin coats.
Yeah, definitely.
Let each one of them dry, than just go right up to it. Until it's dripping, it will ruin it, and you'll obliterate the detail as well.
Well, I've seen people that come to the workshop that use this primer. It's self-leveling primer, and what they tend to do is, I say to them, don't put too much on, because the detail, obviously, on these things is very fine, and they're leveling it on. And they're using loads of primer, which is costing them money, and B, you lose your detail. So you best do one job, let it dry, a thin coat. Let it dry, check it over. Do that upside down coat, guys. That's dead important. That's your first coat. Fine coat. So
the other thing I would make a little sort of like suggestion for you is this. This, when you've been spraying and you've been pushing down with your finger on there, it actually is quite a bit of a repetitive strain. I know it sounds daft, but for people who are older like me, a bit of arthritis, what you can buy from Halfords or any DIY shop, other DIY shops are available, B&Q as well, is it's like a little handle with a trigger.
Can you?
Yeah, and it clips on to your paint can and turns it into a spray, because that is actually that's quite awkward. But with the spray can, it's got a lever, and you pull the lever with all your fingers. It's less of a strain.
Right.
And what you sometimes get with your finger is you get a bit of blowback, and your finger ends up the same colour as the paint. Whereas if you're using it on the temporary spray gun, like a little spray gun attachment from one of these, it fits exactly around these colours. These colours and the dimensions of these cans are pretty much worldwide standard, aren't they? Universal. And this little thing clips over there. It's got a lever that presses down on here. Now make sure if you do get one of them, make sure you've got your nozzles pointing in the right direction. You still need to do that. So there you go, bit of advice.
So basically they're the primers, guys. They come in 2 versions. Spray, paint.
Yeah. So
basically, if you want any, just give us a shout. We'll hook you up. All the instructions are on the back. They're kind of like 400 mil, is it in that one? You can buy these in very small ones or very big ones. It's up to you guys.
This is what does that say? Does that say 500 ml on there?
Yeah.
This is about 500 ml of paint. It is long lasting. It's really good quality paint. This particular, most paints these days are pretty good quality, but this in particular, I mean, you might be thinking, well, if I buy one of them, I might not use it in a year and a half, but it'll last you a year and a half. These little nozzles on the top are like little diaphragm nozzles, so when you squeeze it, the air comes out and the paint comes out. But as soon as you stop, that has got like a little, almost like, I think it's a little silicon seal inside there that stops the paint from going off. So, I mean, there's with your base coats, with your basic colours, your blacks and your whites, it's worth buying this. Because you don't want to run out, because then you're stuck, aren't you?
These basic colours, the blacks and the whites, just one few things before we go, guys. I hope this is helping you. These are quite a matte finish, so these come quite matte. So if you were doing a white shirt, you could double up with that. You could double up with your primer, and it'd be matte white. Or you could double up if you're doing a pair of trousers or a shirt. You could double up with your black. So you don't need to buy black and white. You can buy the primers. And these come across as like a quite a matte finish. Jason's working on some more colours. There will be a standard UKGK at the end of the day.
It's like a rainbow, isn't it?
See?
It's like a rainbow.
It's like a rainbow. Like a rainbow.
The other thing as well is people often say to me, and I'm not a painter as such, though I do it. I don't call myself a painter because I'm not as good as Rachel. Simple as. But I would say that if people say, well, what's the difference between this stuff and the stuff you buy at the works? And there is a massive difference, because the pigment in this is about 3 times as dense. So, this won't be 3 times as much, but you'll get 3 times as dense a pigment. So when you put the pigments on, the colours are vibrant and they're solid and they dry well, they dry evenly. If you buy cheap acrylics and do it with cheap acrylics, you can get a reasonable result. But the problem is that the more money you spend on the paint, the more fun, because the less effort you have in actually getting a reasonable result. It doesn't, obviously, it never guarantees a reasonable result, but you stand a better chance of getting it with this lot, or any of the major colour producers, right? So the more you spend, the more chance you give yourself. But there's no substitute for genius, as Rachel will point out.
She's good. She's good.
She's good.
Before we move on to the goodies, guys, one last thing, and I'm going to go into detail with this product here, this particular can that we use. It's a godsend. This is the last one, guys. A quick 2 minutes on this one. This is our matte coat, our dead matte finish. Yeah. Now, for years we were using testers, but testers' price went through the roof. Yeah. Testers' can was about this big. Now, if nobody knows what a matte coat is, when you finished what you've done, this is a sealant coat. So this seals all your work in. So if you've done a nice job and you seal this in and you make a mistake with your acrylics, you can wash it off. And it also provides a really nice flat finish for your model at the end of the day. Makes it look fantastic. It also then provides a nice coat if you want to go into pastels. I'm not going to go into too details about that. So basically, guys, if you haven't got any of this, look at it. Same as the other one. Clean underneath, light coats. It's clear and it's matte, and it dries pretty quick. Again, it gives a bit of kick off because it's an aerosol. We can't do anything about that. So they're the aerosols, guys. People have asked us to showcase a few of the products. We're going to go into the paints again, and we've done enough of that today. Let's get on to the goodies. Straight into this one.
Okay, well, should we do this one as soon as he's in front of us? This is the Great Paul Fay, and this is Dr. Feebs. And if you have a look, it's a fantastic likeness of Vincent Price. Now, remember, the Vincent Price in Dr. Feebs is wearing a lifelike death mask, isn't he?
Yeah.
So that's why he looks a little bit miserable, and that is it.
I think he looks like Bruce Forsyth in the film,
he
don't you?
Does look like Bruce Forsyth. I
look,
think Brucey probably modelled himself on Dr. Feebs.
He's got a Brucey wig on, hasn't he?
So I'd have gone the opposite way around. I would have said that Brucey gives off a Dr. Feebs vibe, especially in his latter years.
He's got that Brucey look about him, hasn't he? But I think it's a great likeness.
It's lovely. This is the kind of thing you'd see. To me, when I look at Paul's work, obviously I love it to bits, but this is the kind of thing you'd see in a theatre on a plinth of a great actor. It almost looks like a tribute to Vincent Price as a great actor, as well as obviously being his character.
This kit originally came out many moons ago.
Yeah, it's an old kit.
By a company called Budgie Cage, Martin Cage's stuff. I ended up taking Martin's line off him and the Igor to go with it, the Bela Lugosi Igor, which I'll try and get as well to show next week. So nice little bus there. Would you say the 1/6 scale probably?
Yeah, and
a little bit bigger, 1/5.
To segue back into the paint, this is cast in grey resin, and we talked over the last couple of weeks about colour resin, the colour of resin, as opposed to the normal sort of white yellowy can of resin. But this is actually cast in grey, and hopefully we've taken
shows all the detail off.
Shows all the detail off especially on the video.
So well done, guys. It does make a difference.
It does make a difference.
This one's available now, guys, and I'd like to say thank you to Steve for helping us out with a master for that. Top guy. Look forward to seeing you at the show.
The nameplate, it's hard to read it there, but the nameplate is kind of incised, and it's in that very elaborate sort of late Victorian, early Art Nouveau letter form. So that's a beautiful touch.
Lovely. He's done a good job of that, Paul, hasn't he? So that one's available now, guys. He's going to show you a few more bits and pieces. We talked about this last week, didn't we?
Yeah, we did, and once again, here it is, Outer Limits. It's a man that wasn't born, who's never born, and we can see there, once again, it's cast in grey. So this is an actual production version, isn't it?
That's what you get.
That's what you get. So we saw the last week's, it was in blue, wasn't it? We cast it in blue so you could see it. But this is what you get. This is what you get when you buy it.
So that's how you'd receive it.
Solid base there. You can trim the base off if you want, or you can leave it on. The cast is actually got a thicker base here than the master, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Because this is designed to be trimmed off. But looking at it, you could leave it on it, give it some stability.
I think it looks great. I mean, if you look at this, I mean, first, what I'd like to do as well while we're live, Gads. Last week I cracked a joke about this looking like someone that used to work for me. So I'd like to apologise. Because
we'd like to apologise to him and his legal team.
I'd like to apologise. I'd like to apologise. I'm on about this guy. I'm apologising to for looking like Ben. Sorry, Ben. This is an official apology to the guy that played this.
Played the actor in the movie.
He doesn't look anything like Ben at all. No, Ben's a great guy. Ben, if you meet Ben at the show, please go and say hi to him. Yeah, he's really nice.
You'll recognise him though, because
he looks like that. Seriously, Ben, I tell you what, he takes it so well. He said, "Oh, you bugger," and
And we often talk about likenesses, and
shout out to Ben.
Likenesses. I'd like to think that. Well, some of the kids I teach think I look like a gorilla.
Really?
Yeah. I said no. My spirit animal is a rhinoceros.
All right.
But whilst we're here, Paul Fay, these are Pauls, aren't they?
Pauls.
And I want to just show you the two. Now, my favourite one of the two is obviously this one. I just love the style, the Planet of the Apes.
I like the hat.
The Planet of the Apes movies. What a piece of genius that!
Seen the latest one, Kingdom of the Apes.
I haven't seen it yet. No,
it's kind of what you'd expect for Disney doing.
Oh, is it? It's not.
It's a Planet of the Apes film that you watch on Christmas Day. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Now I remember the Planet of the Apes comic book, the Marvel comic book.
That's just.
And the artist for some of it was a guy called Mike Plug, who sadly I think passed away, and he used to do Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
He did Swamp Thing or Man Thing. He did Man Thing, and a lot of others. But Plug used to draw this, and when I look at this sculpt by Paul Fay, I see.
It's great, isn't it?
Like
Paul's apes are good.
Bringing the Mike Plug drawing to life. Look at the nature of that, though. It's not just a solid face-on version of this.
It's just got an attitude, hasn't it?
It's got an attitude. It's got the actors, the actors' emotions showing through the makeup.
Can't beat it.
Can't beat
it. Go in it. I mean, this one to me. Look at this. That's crying. Well, that should have a cigar in his mouth. It's got to have a cigar, hasn't it?
And a little machine gun.
A machine gun.
And a machine gun.
Yeah, machine gun.
But look at these. They're both by Paul Fay. One is General Ursus and one is General Aldo. I think this is General Ursus and that's General Aldo.
In the TV, that was Urko.
General Urko. It was Urko in the TV, but Ursus in the movie. I think Urko is easy to say.
And spell.
And this is lovely. This is absolutely lovely. And it's characteristic sort of wooden leather helmet that they used to wear.
Superb.
Which is almost like a Greek helmet, but not.
It just looks good. It just looks
art
good.
Direction and everything.
It just looks great.
Brilliant.
I mean, I love all this on it.
All the ape language, all the ape hieroglyphs on there.
Everyone knows I love the apes, and to be fair, Paul's Paul's aced it. You can't go.
Can't go wrong with it.
Can't go wrong. There you go, my friend.
Yeah. Now, the next one we're going to have a look is one we looked at a couple of weeks ago, but this is now
saving
available.
the best to last,
we're saving the best for last. So, this is Pearl by Andy Copeland, and we've seen this before.
Considering
but
this
look at the cast. Look how good the cast is. Obviously, there's more bits because she's missing her axe and she's missing her arm.
Show them the actual bit on the back.
There you go. Look at that. Beautiful. So it's cast. Most of it's cast, isn't it? Conventional cast.
There's two parts that are printed.
To it that's printed, but the fist arm there
goes there.
It goes there. It's cast, so there. But the printed parts. This is the arm that holds the axe.
I wonder why we printed that.
Well, it's because the fingers are so delicate, especially on a female kit like that. You can see.
And she's got an axe.
She's got an axe, and she's also got this, which is also something which is printed, and that goes on the back of her head there. So she's got a
bow in her hair,
bow in her hair,
like a ribbony bow.
So there you go.
How good's that?
But
that one's available now, guys. If anybody hasn't seen the film, it's the second one
in the
trilogy.
X trilogy.
It's called Pearl.
Pearl. It's just called Pearl.
Yeah, X is the first one.
Yeah, X is the first one, and Triple X is the next one. Maxine, Triple X, yeah.
That's out now.
So that's out now. It's just recent. So that's quite a current kit. But we were talking earlier on in the painting class, weren't we? That how much more the actual fact. I mean, when we showed it earlier on in the month, I think it was just a print. But when you see it cast in resin, so this is a conventional cast from a print. It's just got such solidity.
It feels different, doesn't it?
Feels different, doesn't it?
Looks different. I know why.
It just has a solidity to it that, I mean, look at the face on it.
It's great, that, isn't it?
The interpretation of the face is just brilliant. I mean,
it's a bit of a cult film, isn't it?
It is a cult film, but you know what? At the end of the day, you can. At 1 minute you look at this, it's as well as being a good rendition of the character. It's just a beautiful sculpture too.
He's done a good job of that.
It's a shame that she's carrying an axe. Right, if she was carrying a bunch of flowers, or maybe, I don't know, or a bow, and it was Diana, the huntress, hunting deer, it would be just as beautiful. I think it's fantastic.
It's crazy.
It's lovely. So,
right,
I wouldn't say it was the best in terms of the best, because these are all, but, you know, the likes of Andy and Paul, it's
a show exclusive, isn't it?
It's exclusive rather than the best, because I don't want to take away the skill of these other people. Because I make model dinosaurs. I make dinosaur sculptures. Somebody was asking me the other day what do I do, and if you go onto the Aurora Prehistoric Scenes tribute site by Trevor, you'll be able to go into the add-on section. You'll be able to see my work in there, and I do a lot of detailed work. I don't do too many, but I like scales. I like detail on the surface. So. This is a
show exclusive.
Show
guys.
Exclusive, so it's only available.
Yeah, you need
available from the show.
You need to contact Darren Kent for this to reserve your copy. He's got a limited amount. To me, this phenomenal.
Let me just try not to bump Mike, but there, look at that. It's obviously it's Vecna from Stranger Things, and it's absolutely chock full of detail. Every single square millimetre is going to require you to paint it.
Look at that.
There's no filler. It's all killer. It's exactly what you would wish for. And obviously it's got an arm. Like, you put the arm on, and this is absolutely spectacular. Look at that. It's massive, and it's just...
Wow, it's stunning, isn't it?
Gorgeous.
Lovely.
It's just gorgeous. Now,
this is hollow cast, and the arm is solid. So let me just have a feel of how weight that is. It's a decent sized weight there.
You can hear it's hollow, but it's still a weight in it. I mean, can I just?
I mean, look at the size of the head on it.
It's just beautiful. Look at the detail on the back of the hand.
Look at the head.
There's absolutely nothing that's not been treated in some superb way.
I mean, that must be a character that's dear to his heart, because he's just aced it. I mean, all you guys that have watched the Stranger Things series, this is the bad guy out of that.
Yeah.
I mean, it goes together, a dream, doesn't it? Superb casting. It goes together.
Beautiful balance as well.
Yeah, really, really nice, guys. This is Solid. The arm's solid. The base. The arm's solid. The actual body is hollow cast, but it's a good chunky hollow.
It has to be hollow because otherwise, it must have what, quarter of inch, half inch of resin inside.
I'd say that was over a kilo in there.
Well
over a kilo.
If it was solid, it would just weigh too much.
They'd probably weigh about 3 kilos.
What I love about seeing stuff like this, because I've seen the series and I did like them. I appreciated them both, and I thought they were quite refreshing, really, because it didn't shy away from the horror.
Yeah.
And it reminded me a lot of the 1980s movies.
Sort of horror, got a hot 80s
horror movies when kids get involved, like
yeah.
But I can't help thinking when I look at these things. You know, we always say that there's nothing ever new that's been designed. There's nothing ever new. This is beautiful sculpt, but you know what? It reminds me of Swamp Thing. Yeah, it does remind me of Swamp Thing.
It's got that sort of feel, hasn't it?
Something to it, feel of it.
Loads of painting.
One of those old trauma movies from the 80s.
Love it. It's
you
superb.
know?
So basically, guys, Darren will have these at the UKGK show. If you contact him, I would contact him ASAP because
it's going to go, isn't it?
It's going to go.
It's going to go. I think if you want one, get in touch straight away.
I would, if you want to pick it up or you want him to post it out at the show or whatever you want to do. I know he's told me he's releasing this one at UKGK show as an exclusive, and he's kindly sent us this one to review, which is nice. Anybody else wants their stuff reviewed, please feel free to send it us. We're more than happy to do it. But look at that. He's done a fantastic job about that, hasn't he?
You know, the other thing I like about this as well, you know, when monsters have like a kind of vegetable base, the kind of roots. It always reminds me of the scene in The Evil Dead with the tree, the frightened tree. You know, it's got a very Evil Dead look about it. Actually, I like the series.
It's a good fit as well.
It's a beautiful fit. It's precise, that is, and it's for a conventional cast. That is pretty good, Darren.
That's very good indeed. So this one's available through Darren Kent. Like I say, I'll put his details up. But it's either Darren Kent Studios Sculptors or Darren Kent himself. So we've covered quite a bit today. I'm saving the best till last. I've been in this hobby for possibly 30 years. So I've been doing it for 30 years. Try to help as many people as possible. Try to be nice. Try to be sort of as best as I can and do as much as I can. You can't always be nice, but I try to be. Occasionally someone comes along and does something and it's superb.
Yeah.
So you've got to give people credit where credit's due. I got a gentleman who's worked with me for a long time. Superb. I mean, he came over. He'd done some work for me, and he presented the next piece to me and said, "There you go, Dave. Thank you. You've done a lot for people, and I appreciate what you've done. Here's a bit of a gift." How's that?
And it's Charlie the.
It's that my little dog. So big shout out to Mr. Bailey. Thank you very much, Joe Bailey. Thank you. Big shout out, Joe.
This isn't just any old dog either. That looks just stunningly realistic. And what I've always noticed about Joe is when it comes to animals, he loves animals. So
he loves
when
animals.
He sculpts them with love. And
that's amazing. I mean, thanks, Joe. You're a star, my friend. Look forward to seeing you at the show. Yeah. Look forward to seeing all the other good stuff you've got. I know there's some amazing stuff coming from loads of people. Now, as I said at the beginning of the video, which seems like a long time ago now, I went yesterday to check the venue out. There's a short video coming on after me and Bill. And then there's the Americans. It's getting close, guys. If I'm really honest, I think we're full. I think the dealers and the display tables were full. So it looks like it's going to be a good one. We've got a guy called Andy Finney who's going out of his way to promote us. Hopefully, we've got cosplays there, we've got Daleks, we've got a Pennywise, we've got other people there, so it's going to be good. Yeah. It's at a community centre with a cafe on it, so there'll be places so you can have a drink. Then the bar opens at 12, you can go and have a pint and sit down. Bill will be there.
I'll be there doing some interviews and I'll be wandering around. If you want my autograph, then I'll probably do them for free this year. I was going to get you all to queue up for like 3 hours and give you 50 quid, but I didn't think that was going to work, to be honest with you, David. But have we got the right poster this year?
We have.
Because last year
do you want to put last year's poster up as well?
We'll put last year's poster up because it'll have Well, we've got 3 years.
Well,
out
we
of it,
have,
haven't we?
yeah, we've got them all there. But
So
we
we've
are,
got all the posters, but we'll put this year's poster up. It'll arrive in time. And
we'll get that sorted. That'll be there, definitely.
this year.
To be honest, I better put that on my list to make sure I've got it next week now.
Yeah. I think it's in that box over there.
That's
Isn't
last
it?
year's.
That's
Not even opened it, if I'm honest. Thank you guys for all the kind comments. You know, we do appreciate it. You know, we do our best for you. I hope we give you some tips. We're not professional painters, guys. We're just trying to help you.
Yeah.
Give some tips. These things showing you bits and pieces is helping you guys to see what's out there. Next week we're going to do some more bits and pieces before Bill goes away the week after, is it?
Week after I'm off to the United States. If
Yeah.
it's still there.
So if it's still there, yeah. Good luck to the lads tonight.
Yeah.
I hope we do well.
Yeah. Fingers crossed.
UK will be closed tomorrow if we win tonight. All you guys know what we're talking about. Thanks for tuning in. Smash a like, subscribe to the channel. Again, if you want to get in touch with us, contact us via the, Facebook or the UK channel, and we will get back to you as soon as possible. Take care, guys. Look after yourself.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, guys, so here we are at the Madeley Centre in Madeley. I'm just giving you a quick walkthrough. As you can see, there's a massive sized car park, loads and loads and loads of parking space. It's just off the main drag into Madeley. I'm going to walk you into the hall, and I'm going to let you see the new venue. I'm here today just checking it out. This is the front of the venue. So there's the main road, guys. Big car park, as you can see, goes across here. There's the actual hall there, and this is all the car parking for the people that are coming. My friend should be here now. Yes, he's already waiting for me. Andy, the guy who's doing a lot of organisation. So we're going to walk in, and we're going to have a quick 2-minute walk about. As you can see, there's plenty of space. Nice little roundabout, nicely situated, nice modern, well kept building. We're just going to go in to the venue now. Andy should be with us very, very shortly. I'm just coming into the main entrance now. So you've got Andy here, who's doing a lot of the organisation. I'll speak to Andy in another interview in a minute.
Hello everyone.
We're just going to walk in now. So as we go in, we've got obviously the doors, sliding doors that click us in. Now this bit here is basically, this is the cafeteria area that you walk straight through. As you can see, there's plenty of room to have a brew, stuff like that. Loads of dog friendly as well. We're just going to walk straight through to the venue. Now looking straight in front of us here is the outside seating area for us, so that we can sit outside if the weather permits. Nice little fully sort of cafe that we need there. So you can get your bacon butties, you can have whatever. So the first one going down here, and we've just, Andy's gone into the hall here. So it's a little bit of a walk down and into the hall. So there's the hall. We've estimated it's bigger than last time. I'm going to give a quick pan round for you. There you go. It's a bit dark, but there's the hall at the minute. Obviously, try and imagine it with the tables in. It's quite a decent size. We're walking down. Superb. Now we go round here. Access to come in, basically for guys to park. So you dealer guys will be parking outside here, and that's the hall, guys. This is where all the magic will take place. Obviously the dealers we're all in the same room this year. Obviously the lighting will be different. The lighting will be on, and they say they're going to pipe us some music in. Now through these doors here is the thing that we want to show everyone, because this is the most important to a lot of you. Andy's just going to get me the door, and there you go. Look at that, a bar. You can come and sit in here, guys. It's lovely and warm in here, by the way. You can come and sit in here. You can have a beer. You can do what you want. Sit down, discuss what you're going to buy. You can do everything you want. So there's plenty of room, guys. Also, across the room over there, I'm not going to film too much because people are having the food out there. If you go through this door here, across, there is several little rooms. If we do get to the point where we're at capacity, then what we'll do is we'll take the rooms that are over there. So I'm going to have a quick walk back outside. Hopefully next time we see you we'll be preparing for it. So I'll speak to you soon. What we're going to do now is we're going to give you a quick run to the actual hotel from the venue. Andy's going to take me there. It's only 5 minutes, and basically what this will do then is it will give you an idea of the time frame of us, how we get there. Let's quickly jump in. Excuse all of the camera shaking. Away guys, so we're just leaving the venue now. Andy's taking us. This is to the Crew Arms that most of you guys are stopping, so we're just gonna, this is the way we go. Apparently it's not far. So there's all these shops here guys, so there's
takeaways as well.
Takeaways as well, so if you need a walk or you need something to eat, it's not a million miles away. This is a good old Stoke we're in now, I believe.
No, Newcastle under Lyme.
Newcastle under Lyme apparently, so I believe, I do apologise. Apparently there is a difference. All you guys that come from the town, these green things that you see, they're called trees, okay? You might not see them where you live, but we're inundated with them. We've got a special kind of vehicle down here, a nice SUV, it's called a tractor. I'm sure Bill will explain what a tractor is on the next video. If the junction, I believe, is at the top there, which I can see the traffic coming past, it's even closer than I thought it was, if it's where it is. I know a lot of you are stopping at this hotel. Andy's been to the hotel, not the hotel, the pub it is, Pub Hotel B&B, and he reckons it's a pretty good place, so if it's recommended by Andy, then it must be pretty good. Andy's the guy that's with me today. He's doing a lot of the organising. He's took a little bit of the pressure off me. A big, massive kudos to him and a big thank you. He doesn't need to do it. He's doing it because he likes doing it. He wants it to be a success. So if you see Andy at the show, please pop by and say thanks or have a chat with him, because he's got a table there. He's a keen modeller. He's been doing it for donkey's years apparently, but he's only a young lad, so I don't think he'll mind you saying that to him. No, he's looking forward to it. He's a keen modeller. He likes his models, and he's back on board. So we're now just coming to the main junction. I believe, is this the main road? Yeah, this is the main Newcastle road. This will take you into Newcastle.
Yeah. If you go left, it takes you back to Crewe.
So if you go that way, if you go left, you're going through Betley, which is the way I go home, which is a lot of you will be coming, and the others will be coming from, if you're coming from the south, you'll be coming the opposite way we're going, and if you're coming from the north, you'll be coming this way. So we're now on the clock. We've got 2 minutes, so it's 2 minutes from where we are, and this is it. This is the Crew Arms. Wow, that was quick. So it's 2 minutes. Oh, I see. Yes, I do on this pub. Right, so a lot of you are stopping here. Now this is the Crew Arms. This is B&B. I've never stopped here, guys, but I believe this is a reasonable place. Plenty, like I say, plenty of parking. This is where it is. It's a nice little pub. So if you come into the pub, plenty of parking, loads of parking. It's lovely, modern looking hotel here. All you guys that are stopping here, I'm going to try and have a word with one of the guys for you. The food here is supposed to be superb, so check it out, you guys. And I think it's just a nice country pub. It looks superb. I mean, I don't know why I've never been here, but it looks absolutely fantastic. If you're in on a Saturday night after the show, there's plenty of room for you guys to sit round and have a drink here. I've got really good reviews for this place. So check it out, guys. Please eat here. These gentlemen here will look after you. This food, it's lovely. It looks superb. It's proper country pub.
Hello, everybody over there across the pond and here in the U.S. who's watching. We got a couple kits we want to review for you. These are ones that I have in my collection. The first one is produced by Alternative Images, Scott Kelly, Alternative Images Production, excuse me, and sculpted by Joe Lowendowdy. I hope I didn't mess up his last name, the pronunciation of it, but
It's Mighty Joe Young. It was one that meant a lot to me. This was the deepest of Africa. Now, Joe does a super cool job on dinosaurs and whatnot, and his primates and all that. So, he's like this kit. I couldn't wait till it came out to get it, and I've been slowly working on it a little bit in process. It comes with two different hands here. One holding a person, from the jungle that he was with, or the fist. And I chose the fist one better. He's fighting crocodiles. I was working on pinning this one. So I've got like such, a tail goes on there. And then you have the heads also. This is the lower part of this, the big head here. And that I always pin everything just for longevity purposes. And so that one goes on like so right there. And then this would be the top of it in here. Like so. And then when that all gets put together and seamed up, hopefully you can see that well. But it's a really cool piece. Mighty Joe Young holds a big part for me in my life because I remember exactly where I was in my life when I first saw the film. And it's kind of a little interesting story. I was getting my hair cut for the first time by an actual style, a salon, if you will. Whereas before it was always, the dad cut the brush cut, hold still, brush cutting it off. And so I was excited about that, and I walked into the salon and they had a TV up there and this movie was playing. So that was the first time I was introduced to that. And I've been a fan ever since. Loved King Kong and such, and always just loved it. Always had a big heart for the Mighty Joe Young. So there's a cool kit. If you're interested in that one, that's being produced now and is available. Contact Scott Kelly at Alternative Images Productions, and he can take care of you on that one. It's a pretty good sized kit, as you can see me holding it up there. So
yeah, it's about like a 1.6, maybe a little smaller.
Well, I don't know. Comparatively to, he was a lot bigger than, So I don't know the scale. I don't think it really it has. It's just a scene, But it's a good size scene, yeah. No doubt about that. And then we have another piece here that I'm going to Steve present.
Real cool one. This was done by Mike Swistak.
I swear I saw.
Henrietta. I think this is a really cool bust that was done, almost like a tribute bust, it seems, because here you got the Book of the Dead right here, and you got the Ash's skull on the front, little base. You got Henrietta's head.
Mike does a lot of cool
I saw. It's a bigger 1/4.
Yeah, he does a lot. He has a good line of very cool pieces.
Great detail. A lot of good detail on it, as you can see.
He sculpts and produces all his own pieces.
I know you guys over there, you love the Evil Dead stuff, so I figure you appreciate this.
Like the Necronomicon.
Oh yeah, with the book on the back. Well, we were going to put his the name of his business out there, but we couldn't.
I don't want to mess up the name of the destroy it by trying to say it. But if you look him up on Facebook, Mike Swistak, you'll definitely, you'll see all his stuff. You'll take you right to his site.
I remember, what was it? First time.
Little hair that goes.
Well, it was a time I remember turning Evil Dead 2 on. And it was the beginning where Ash had gotten possessed, and me and my friend were watching. I was about like 11, 12. My mom didn't want me to watch that kind of stuff, and of course, he ended up spilling the beans. He ratted on me. I was like, dude, why the hell did you say something? He's like, why did you say that, man? We could have watched this movie. He's like, I don't know. It was scary, man. He's like, I felt that Shelly needed to know. And I'm like, no, dude, that was my opportunity to see this movie, and you ruined it.
That was his cry for help.
That was, too. But big Evil Dead fan. This is a really cool piece, so if you're interested, definitely hit up Mike.
Check out he's got a lot of cool
pieces, a lot of little reliefs.
Yeah, a lot of neat pieces. So if you're not experienced or haven't seen his work, definitely take the time to go look it up on Facebook. Mike Swistak, SWISSSTAK. ACK Swiss Stack, right? I
Yeah,
don't know
yeah.
if I did it right or not. You know what I was trying to say.
You just put it in there. There you go.
There you go. Anyways,
We
I
need to
hope
get our ABCs correct a little bit.
you know,
Our pronunciation.
it is what it is. But I hope you're all having a fine day over there, and in the next time around, we'll hopefully be pretty soon. We'll bring to you another review of a few more kits. I hope you enjoyed this, and we will talk soon.
See you guys.